Good afternoon, one and all. AI in forensic medicine. Actually, what is the role of forensic medicine? The forensic medicine is usually at large is applied to solve many of the crimes. And at the same time, in order to fix the responsibility on a particular person. And law and this forensic medicine they have an ancient relationship. Even if you take the history of Indian legal history or legal history of any country, it has a relationship. And forensic medicine is largely, it is a science, whereas law is not a science. Law is a method, is made to regulate the human behavior, to regulate the human conduct. Actually, it is not a science. It depends upon other sciences to solve the issue comes before a court. Am I correct? So, if a question asked the law instructor about any matter, he always answers, it depends. It depends upon so many circumstances, or it depends upon so many factors. So, that is the beauty of the law also. So, it can fit into any by carefully taking into account the different circumstantial evidences and much other things, they can exactly fit the law into different field. So forensic medicine is actually, it is a medicine, it is a branch of medicine used to help or to solve many crime for the administration of justice. It is for the administration of justice. So how AI can be applied in forensic medicine? Is there any role of AI in forensic medicine? Let us have a look at that. Thank you. I first would like to thank Dr. Diana and Dr. Prince for giving me the opportunity to talk about a new topic in forensic medicine. And in the field of medicine also, it is a new topic. It is a promising field. It is a promising topic. But it has many challenges, as our previous speakers pointed out. It has many challenges. At the same time, too many benefits are also there. Yes, next slide. One of the major advantage that can be taken into account while using AI is postmortem identification of a dead person. It is very difficult to identify a dead person even for the close relative of that person. It's a challenge. Currently also, recently the Wayanad landslide, you might have saw too many things about this landslide occurrence. And too many dismembered bodies were examined by myself, and it was very difficult to identify that person exactly. And it took too many days to identify that person by DNA fingerprinting. So, if AI is applied to that purpose, if AI is fed with too many data of a particular patient or particular person, where landslide means one area complete slide is porana. The biometrics of that particular peoples of living in that particular area, mostly available in different agencies. It is with different agencies. So if AI is fed with these informations, AI can very well identify that particular person within seconds. But it usually takes even months to identify that person. Cause and manner of death. Another important area. The aim of autopsy is not to just find out the cause of death or not to just find out the manner of death. It is, at the same time, we have to fix the responsibility on a particular person. Who did it and how did it and what is the purpose of doing that act. And these things have to be answered. So, by careful application of, it can be applied it can be used as a tool in forensic investigation. By using this tool, we can very well identify the cause and the manner of causation of that injury in forensic medicine. And at the same time, it is nowadays and also in the previous era also, it was very difficult to find out the postmortem interval when the death has occurred, time since death. body start decomposing just after death. Immediately after death, so many changes have occurred on the dead body. And different components of the blood, say for electrolyte will be there, and different enzymes will be there. This quantity of these enzymes and electrolytes, everything will be low level when compared to the antemortal level. So, by careful estimation of these compounds, we can very well identify, we can very well say what was the time since death. Anything? Any problem? And similarly, for forensic toxicology also, in order to identify a particular poison and what are the effects of that poison on the human body, it has medical legal importance. And how death has occurred due to that poison. And what was the quantity required to produce that death on that particular person. It also depends upon so many factors. So, if death occurs due to this poison, what was the quantity required to produce death? That also has to be estimated. For by applying this tool, it can very well estimate it. And automated analysis, and also it helps for interpreting the results. Similarly, age estimation, it is also a challenge. Estimating the age. AI models analyze physical attributes, bone scans, medical data to estimate the chronological age of a living person for solving the medical legal issues under investigation. You can see these photographs. These are carpal bones. കൈൻ്റെ റിസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ മുകളിലുള്ള 8 ബോൺസ് ആണ്. ഞങ്ങൾ പഠിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് പറയും ഷീ ലുക്സ് ടു പ്രെറ്റി ട്രൈ ടു ക്യാച്ച് ഹെർ. 8 ബോൺസ് ആണ്. ഈ 8 ബോൺസിൻ്റെ ഓസിഫിക്കേഷൻ സെൻറ്റർ അനുസരിച്ചാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പം ഇത് എല്ലാ ബോണും 8 ബോണും വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ around 10 years or 9 to 10 years of age എന്ന് പറയും. This is the current method available, different bond, different centers at united at different time. So by looking നിങ്ങൾ law students സാധാരണ പറയല്ലോ, കോടതിയിൽ സാധാരണ പറയുന്നത് ഓസിഫിക്കേഷൻ ടെസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു പ്രക്രിയയാണ്. By looking the secondary ossification center യൂണിയൻ വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ ടൈം സിൻസ് ഡെത്ത് ഏജ് ഓഫ് എൻ ഇൻഡിവിജ്വൽ കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. But if the AI machine is already fed with these informations, along with this, the secondary sexual characteristics, and what happens if the advancing age to the bone, what happens to the bone, such things, if fed with this AI machine, along with this data, AI can very well say the age of an individual. Similarly, currently, by doing this ossification test, only up to 25 years of age, the age of the individual can be calculated. But by scrutinizing the changes in the bone, the mineralization of the bone, by scrutinizing the different disintegrating process in the bone, you can very well identify the age if it is more than 25 years of age. So it can be applied in the medical legal field with much consciousness. And violent reoffending risk. If an accused person is arrested and his data is given to this AI, AI can very well take his previous data and the reoffending risk can also be calculated. And the other thing is a dating of bruise. Bruise, as you know, it is a contusion. It is a blunt injury. As the time passes, different color changes has occurred to this injury. So, from the color changes, we estimate the age of that contusion. You can see that photographs. That photograph showed the injury to the back of previous. Yes. The injury showed infiltration of blood into the tissues. You can see the blood infiltration. He was a torture victim. And by looking at the color changes of the contusion, I can now, by physically, I can estimate the age of that injury. But along with that, what are the changes that have occurred to the contusions can be very well fed to the AI machine. This machine learning process can very well estimate the age of that injury. Next. Similarly, application in clinical forensic medicine, how that injury was produced. The first you take the first photograph, it's a contusion. How that was produced? Is due to the fall or due to the beating or accidental? What is the manner of infliction? So, depending upon the site of injury and what is the amount of tissue damage, usually the amount of tissue damage by physically we can calculate by it is half mv square. So, if this is applied to the AI machine, you can very well predict what are the possibility, what are the probabilities, not possibility, what are the probabilities of this injury. So, from that probability, the doctor has to take the most probable one. And similarly, the second one, what do you think that she is a living person and he sustained 2 injury on her neck, and police has doubt whether it is a accidental one or a homicidal one, and the police officer sent the photographs to me immediately after sustaining this injury. And what do you think? The law people. There are 2 injuries on her neck, but it is not deep, and it is oblique. Both are oblique and both are parallel to each other and directly down upwards upwards to downwards. So all these points, if fed in already fed, or different books are fed, different algorithms are fed in this AI machine, and by showing these photographs, its image is also fed to there, then it is very easy. Within seconds, it can be generated. So, as a screening process, even the law enforcing agencies can very well use this AI machine in the field of forensic medicine. That was ഒരു പാരാസൂയിസൈഡ് ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പാപ്പനെ പേടിപ്പിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി അമ്മമ്മ കാണിച്ച പരിപാടിയാണ്. അപ്പാപ്പൻ വീട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് ഇറങ്ങിപ്പോയേന്. So that usually takes days or weeks to solve a situation. But if the machine is already fed with all these informations, and if it is in the hands of an expert, it can be very beneficial, no doubt. And the first photographs you see, these are some of the body parts recovered in this disaster, Wayanad disaster. And by combining these body parts, second photographs, we ഒരു മുഖത്തിൻ്റെ രൂപത്തിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ കൊണ്ടുവന്നു അതിനെ. That is forensic face reconstruction manually. By examining each body part, whether it is a nose or ear, by looking at the cartilages and by looking at the soft tissues and by looking at the hair lines, we tried to reconstruct that body part up to this level. And if particular measurement is also taken and the photograph of that individual is available or in the AI, and if it is given even without DNA fingerprinting, it can be reconstructed very well by the machine. Or if the fingerprint is available, if it is also fed to this, it is already fed in this AI machine, you can very well identify within seconds. Biometric analysis, the fingerprint, dental records, DNA analysis, and nowadays DNA analysis takes 6 to 8 hours minimum, and it usually by processing and everything, it will take 1-2 weeks to get the results. Even though the process takes 6 to 8 hours, the results, too many formalities are there. So if a law enforcing agency uses this in hands of an expert, it can be very well identify the person within seconds. It's a matter of seconds now. And facial recognition by Interpol system. The Interpol system uses biometric data from 179 countries to help identify missing or unidentified persons. Then it is a time-saving process and data integration and the faster answers to your questions. Then, and leveraging artificial intelligence at integrating and analyzing data from multiple sources to generate investigative leads. It is very helpful to generate an investigative leads. ഈ AI യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ആ ഒരു കേസിൻ്റെ ഹിസ്റ്ററി മുഴുവനും പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഈവൻ ദ സസ്പെക്ട് ക്യാൻ ബി ഐഡൻറ്റിഫൈഡ് ബൈ എ AI മെഷീൻ. Facial recognition system, as we discussed, this Interpol facial recognition, and authorities in Ukraine has used this clear view AI facial recognition technique. Both are clear view and the Coresight AI facial recognition. Both are American products. And Ukraine uses this clear view AI recognition to match postmortem photos to database image and showing that distinctive tattoos. From that tattoo, that person was identified by using this clear view AI facial recognition. And locating missing person, Israel's Saruka Medical Center has used this Coresight artificial intelligent facial recognition process. And this is another victim in Wayanad landslide. And initially it was very difficult to identify her, but by switching and by making more presentable form, she could be identified by her relatives. Crime scene analysis tool, the crime surveillance footage, trace evidences, scene reconstruction, everything can be done by using this tool. Then, and virtual autopsy system, the conventionally we do autopsy by dissecting the entire human body. Every part of the human body is being examined systematically to find out the cause of death, and in order to find out whether it is a murder or not, or whether any involvement of any other person in his or her death, by manually by dissecting every part of the human body. It is a head to foot examination. Every part of the body will be examined, and it is a time consuming process. Definitely it is an invasive process, so it has many risks also. Health risks are also there. And the human oversight, sometimes by oversight some part of the body may not get dissected properly, so the proper records may not be there, so physical evidences may not be there. It is a subjective opinion of a particular doctor what was the cause of death. After this autopsy, doctor has to give an opinion as to cause of death and to give to the investigation agency. And most of the findings, if there is any finding which is of having subjective in nature, how it can be proved objectively? It is very difficult. It cannot be proved objectively. So, if he is subjected to a virtuopsy technique, he is subjected to a non-invasive virtuopsy technique, there is objectivity in his findings. And every court can easily rely upon these findings. Next. Legal implications for every new things. നമുക്ക് എന്തായാലും കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചപ്പോൾ നമുക്കറിയാലോ, എവറി ന്യൂ തിങ് there are എപ്പോഴും റീസെൻ്റ് ആവും, അതൊരു natural phenomenon. It's a complex legal issues that require careful evaluation, admissibility of AI-generated evidences, potential for bias, and need for transparency and of human oversight, ensuring that human control remains paramount in AI decision making. Transparency is very important. If American company, if IBM has made a tool, and The adverse effect has occurred in India. What happens? And it is used by a doctor in India. And if he uses that tool, he has some responsibility. Otherwise, it should be a fully automated machine learning process. If it is a fully accepted, fully automated machine learning or fully automated AI, then that machine has autonomy. It may not depend upon this doctor. Otherwise, that is used as a tool for the doctor. So, doctor has the responsibility. ഒരു പുതിയൊരു ലോ ഇനാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് വരെ അതിൻ്റെ ലീഗൽ ഇംപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസ് പറയുന്നത് വരെ ഇഫ് ഡോക്ടർ യൂസ് എനി മെഷീൻ ഫോർ ഹിസ് കൺസൾട്ടിംഗ് ഫോർ ട്രീറ്റ്മെൻറ്റ് ഓഫ് ഹിസ് പേഷ്യൻസ് ഹി ഈസ് റെസ്പോൺസിബിൾ. These are the different tests. It is used in US courts. Next, admissibility of these evidences. So, this essentially focused on general acceptability, but Dobert, this offers a list of factors. നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലൊക്കെ ഇപ്പോഴും യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ബൊലാം ടെസ്റ്റ്, ബോളിത്തോ ടെസ്റ്റ് എന്നൊക്കെ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് മെഡിക്കൽ നെഗ്ലിജൻസിലൊക്കെ കേൾക്കുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് ഡിപ്പെൻഡ്സ് അപ്പോൺ ടു മെനി ഫാക്ടേഴ്സ്. അപ്പോൾ അതുപോലെ തന്നെയാണ് അത് സ്റ്റിൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ ലോസ് ഒക്കെ സ്റ്റിൽ യൂസിങ് ദീസ് മെത്തേഡ്സ്. ഡിപ്പെൻഡ്സ് അപ്പോൺ ദിസ് ഇംഗ്ലണ്ട് ലോസ് ഫോർ ദീസ് പർപ്പസസ്. ദെൻ നെക്സ്റ്റ്, ആൻഡ് ദ BSA, that's Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. This has added electronic and digital records within the purview of the definition document. And also, the word statement given electronically have been added. And നമ്മുടെ കോർട്ടിൻ്റെ ഒരു നിങ്ങൾക്കാണ് അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് ഞാൻ അധികം പറയുന്നില്ല നിങ്ങളെ മുന്നിൽ വന്നിരുന്നിട്ട്. ബട്ട് ദ അഡ്മിസിബിലിറ്റി ഈസ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ ജഡ്ജ് ഹു ഡിസൈഡ്സ്. അല്ലേ? അത് സബ്ജക്റ്റീവ് ഫീലിംഗ് ഓഫ് ദ ജഡ്ജാണ്. ജഡ്ജിക്ക് അഡ്മിസിബിലിറ്റി തീരുമാനിക്കേണ്ടത് ജഡ്ജിയാണ്. എക്സ്റേ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച മുതൽ വെൻ റോൺചൻ ഡിസ്കവേർഡ് ദിസ് എക്സ്റേ അന്ന് മുതൽ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ബീയിങ് യൂസ്ഡ് ഇൻ നോട്ട് ഓൺലി ഇൻ ക്ലിനിക്കൽ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ബട്ട് ബൈ ദ കോർട്ട് പർപ്പസ് ഓൾസോ. നോ കോർട്ട് അതിന് ഇല്ല എന്ന് വേണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. സോ ഇഫ് യൂസ്ഡ് വൈസ്ലി ആൻഡ് യൂസ്ഡ് അണ്ടർ ദ കൺട്രോൾ ഓഫ് എ ഡോക്ടർ, ഇറ്റ് ക്യാൻ വെരി വെൽ ബി admissible in the court of law. Potential for bias and errors. Next, and transparency പറയുമ്പോഴാണ് IBM കമ്പനി ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ how that machine works. Sometimes it may be a trade secret for that company, but without knowing how that machine works, how can it be accountable? അത് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ പ്രശ്നമുള്ളൂ. ബ്ലാക്ക് ബോക്സ് ഫിനോമിനൻ ആവരുത്. പ്രത്യേകിച്ചും if it is used for the health care and also used for the court purposes, it should be proved beyond reasonable doubt. അത് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ അതിൻ്റെ ട്രാൻസ്പാരൻസി ഇംപ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യണം. ഹ്യൂമൻ ഓവർസൈറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഇൻവോൾവ്മെൻറ്റ്. നെക്സ്റ്റ്, ആൻഡ് യു മസ്റ്റ് ഹാവ് ദ വാലിഡേഷൻ ആൻഡ് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ്സ്, സയൻറ്റിഫിക് വാലിഡേഷൻ, പെർഫോമൻസ് ക്യാരക്ടറൈസേഷൻ, സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് ബെസ്റ്റ് പ്രാക്ടീസസ് ആൻഡ് ക്വാളിറ്റി അഷുറൻസ്. നെക്സ്റ്റ്, പ്രൈവസി ഇതൊക്കെ ഓൾറെഡി ഡിസ്കസ്ഡ് മാറ്റേഴ്സ് ആയതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ അതിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ അധികം പോകാത്തത്. പ്രൈവസി ആൻഡ് ഡാറ്റ പ്രൊട്ടക്ഷൻ. നെക്സ്റ്റ്, and ethical consideration, respect for human rights, non-discrimination, transparency and oversight. Enhance truth finding, mitigate misuse and uphold the rule of law. They are rushing me, that is why I am also rushing the slides. Stakeholder engagement, proactive consideration and ethical principle, these are responsible innovation. Next. These are in brief, these are the transforming evidence analysis, accelerate and improve accuracy, reduce human bias, objective conclusion and enhancement of justice, predictive crime prevention, expedite identification, including the DNA profiling, virtual autopsy, intelligent data mining, advanced toxicology screening, cold case revolutions. All these are the benefits of this AI use. Then next. Challenges, there are too many challenges. It is already been discussed by the previous speakers. Then next, and something about the negligence. In case of negligence, it is much to discuss. So I am skipping this. Next also, these are two slides. This needs much more time to discuss, and it is the time. I think it is time is over now. And AI holds immense potential to advance forensic medicine, but its use requires careful navigation of legal and ethical implications. Ongoing research and collaboration between stakeholders are crucial to realizing the benefits while mitigating the risk. Next. Thank you.